Commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Super Bowls. And I just never forget, as a kid, watching all the Super Bowl games and watching Monday Night Football, and my mom said, "It's time to go to bed." But I said, "No, Mom, I want to play pro football one day." And I never would have ever thought that when my dad took me outside to kind of throw the ball around, that this ball would have taken me places.
Tyrone Keys was born in Jackson, Mississippi. He attended Dawson Elementary School, where his young life was impacted forever by his 6th grade teacher, who taught him to dream big and believe in himself.
This necessitates an excellent teacher to terminate her services with a given school system. As was the case of Mrs. Mary W. Hagan, a Jackson Public School elementary teacher in a predominantly black school, who was greeted with tears from her class of mixed pupils when they were informed that she was leaving. And in questioning some of the children as to why the sadness, they responded with, "She taught us and we learned, she loved, she respected us." She had to sustain her emotions when she entered her classroom Friday morning to find, written on her blackboard, "You have certainly helped my people." This was written by the janitor. On her last day of service, Mrs. Hagan gave to all her pupils and their parents an original writing by her entitled "Love Is." An excerpt from it reads, "Love is knowing your students love you. Love is being honest with one another. And to aid the teacher who is to replace her Monday," she wrote, "Love is a new teacher next Monday." Mrs. Hagan will continue her services as a public school teacher in the Baton Rouge public school system this year.
I can't believe this phone call.
Why is that? I'm telling you, it's been how many years?
Since 1970, so that's quite a while.
Tyrone Keys, a former Mississippi State football player, came back to this his hometown, his native town, met with the school that he went to, the elementary school, met with kids and spoke to them about believing and achieving. And it's a really inspirational story behind Tyrone. But it's not solely Tyrone's story. It's a lesson and a living lineage, and how sometimes the smallest people can make the largest lasting impact. As a football player, Tyrone Keys' journey led him through SEC domination at Mississippi State and Super Bowl glory in the NFL. Yet through all of his triumphs and success, he never forgot about this woman, Mary Hagan, Keys' 6th grade teacher. The teacher to whom he owed so much had no awareness of the impact she had made.
She expanded our awareness of what the possibilities could be. And over the years, I always thought about her
To be honest with you, I did not know, I have a clue that this impact had reached the level it did until after we started talking.
What makes Mrs. Hagan and our story so different is because of the circumstances and because of the fact that she could have said, adios, I'm gone. In 1971 in Jackson, Mississippi, and in the heart of the heat of the civil rights movement, and her compassion for us and her courage to travel back and forth from this community to her community, I just never forgot it.
You know, back in our era, when Martin Luther King had that famous quote, it's not the content of your skin, but the content of your character. She came in and she represented what true character is.
As a teacher, I think it's our obligation to try to help students to learn what their gifts may be, and that the rewards may not come at the end of the day, their 9 weeks, the year, but the impressions they make from day to day, minute to minute, will be for life. After 47 years, I still had the class roll. And for a reason I cannot explain, I had a small mark next to Tyrone's name. I also had the copy of the poem I had left for them.
And then down at the end of the line, she mentioned love is when one of your students come to visit. Now, I'm here. It took me 39 years, but I'm here.
I can't believe this is happening after talking to Tyrone a few weeks ago, and he said he could make this happen, and he had found you, and this is unbelievable. It really is. I mean, to go back and to be able to talk to your 6th grade teacher, and that's something. I mean, after all these years, that's really something, because I never would in a million years thought this would happen. We learned a lot from you. I talk about you to this day. I'm going to tell you, Miss Hagan, you definitely left an impression on me.
We had no idea what part we were playing in history, did we?
No, we did not.
At the time. It's a good thing we'd have probably turned and run the other way or something. But it all worked out. It all worked out.
Well, you're a special person with a big heart, with one of those kinds of love, for people, for your students. I think that just speaks for people, just has an impact on people.
Well, it's just wonderful hearing from you.
Oh, same here.
Another part to that story that I don't know if y'all ever knew, they were harassing me, something horrible. We can, all of us, tell stories of things that happened back through some of those tough times.
Well, it's no doubt in my mind that, as I began to reflect back and I realized that I believe that you were heavenly sent there.
From up above came down a heavenly one. Yes, an angel back in 71 who had to shovel her way to depths that very few would ever dig to. This angel experienced things that some would never live through because they would have left. When people told her leave, she stayed because there was a special connection she made. As a teacher with students she kept, even though there were sleepless nights on the floor as she wept. Heartbroken, losing strength, but never losing her purpose. Where she knew that she had to dig deeper in the surface, because by changing the day's schedule, she would be changing the outcome of the future in these kids. We're in Jackson, Mississippi, only white lady who lives. In the midst of all these blacks, how do I not crack when the pressure is on and I feel like nobody has my back? So I back up, noticing I'm starting something bigger than myself as I'm being judged by the color of my skin instead of the content of my character. Ask Martin, with my intentions pure, teaching for the love. You know it's not for the cash, but still I wake up every day being harassed, truly wondering how long can this last. But I realize that's the price of me being the root, planting the seeds these kids need, in return seeing the fruit that sprouted up so huge and so bright for the world to see. 39 years later, my former student Tyrone Keys, who used his keys to open up so many doors, because as he did the right deeds and planted the right seeds, he dug deep into his core and understood his purpose. Now looking back, I'm so blessed I gave so much, providing a service which is essential in this cycle where in return Tyrone fulfilled my dream of seeing one of my students reach their fullest potential. Coming from a seed I could not see at the start, but he saw me as the first, being that root as I now walk with my fruit through the Mississippi State Sports Hall of Fame. It touches my heart because in this movie I played a huge part by being committed, sacrificing, and my character. Yes, I, Mary Hagan, was courageous. Now I can stand up here with Tyrone Keys with purpose and say, yes, not I, but we made it.
Reached a place in history that has never been reached before.
The purpose of the school, we did have students of both races.
Okay. Time to say goodbye to an excellent athlete, as you were telling me.
Yeah, groundbreaker, a leader, a fantastic athlete.
Yeah, he was great in football and baseball.
He was ahead of the time.
We kind of set the tone for more than just the athletes in this whole
I didn't
situation.
think about that, but
That team prepared me for everything. Catch myself on another great team, which is a legendary team, the Chicago Bears.
What that football team did for this school.
Alvin described me as the littlest nose guard in the world. This team will go down as perhaps the greatest high school team that has ever played in the state of Mississippi. And it touched every major college in the state of Mississippi, from Jackson State University, Mississippi State University, Mississippi Valley State University, Alcorn State University, the University of Southern Mississippi, and the University of Mississippi. Ole Miss.
Well, I tell you what, this was kind of the beginning of integration.
Do you remember anything about the Biloxi Championship?
I do. I'll tell you. The neighborhood of Bel Air, of where we grew up.
Oh, you guys from the same neighborhood, the same side of town.
Yeah, probably the greatest high school team ever put together in the state of Mississippi.
Let's take a look at our All-State Good Hands flashback. The last time Alabama lost in the regular season as number one was all the way back in 1980. Tied 3-3 late in the fourth quarter. Dana Moore's 22-yard field goal put the Bulldogs up by 3. Alabama marched down to the 2-yard line, but Tyrone Keys hit quarterback Don Jacobs. It forced the fumble. Mississippi recovered and ended Alabama's 28-game win streak and their hopes of an unprecedented
attention for his post-career work, and seems especially proud of his recognition as one of the SEC's 75th anniversary Stories of Character and his induction into the MSU Education Hall of Fame. Even with all his success, from penthouse to outhouse to White House, Keys best remembers a gray November day in Jackson 29 years ago.
My favorite Mississippi sports memory is, of course, being right over there at Veterans Stadium and beating Alabama 6-3 with 22 seconds to go. I'm on the 4-yard line. I can feel it like it was yesterday. I can smell the sweat, the grunting, and you can just sense that Alabama thought that they were going to win that game.
I remember us in the huddle. We started to panic a little bit because if you remember, they hadn't even been across the 50-yard line the whole game. So Billy Jack and Tyrone was kind of like the senior leader of the defense that year, Larry Friday. So guys in the huddle started like, come on, man, we can't let it get away, So, we 30 seconds, and so they were rushing to the line because we was kind of disorganized. And I remember getting up and Tyrone told me, we're going to make a big play, you're going to make a big play. And ball snapped, the next thing I knew, because I had got cut off from the backside, I was coming in pursuit. And so I seen Billy Jack dive through and hit the quarterback and the ball fumble. And I got a snapshot at home when everybody about this high off the ground, and we knew we had won.
They came my way, and I was, and the rest is kind of history, and that's my.
Tyrone Keys helps others receive the same opportunity he was given. An SEC 75th Anniversary Story of Character.
A teacher's gift is knowing that a student has reached his or her fullest potential. And to top that off is knowing that that student is able to return this back to the community. And Tyrone has certainly fulfilled my dream as a teacher.
My journey got started here at Dawson Elementary School, and that's why I'm back here today, is to share with the students, to let them see the fruit, and I wanted to also share with them the root. So you were the root here at the school, my parents was the root at home, and I want teachers to know around the country that it's the positive words and it's the seeds that they plant within the heart of the students, and it can come full circle if both people come together as one.
In the me-first world of professional sports, most players won't extend a hand to help up a teammate, much less go out of their way for someone they don't know. Well, here's another feel-good story about a former NFL lineman, Tyrone Keys, who knows all about that life. But unlike many of his teammates, he knew that wasn't the way to go. Ever since he hung up his cleats, he's been doing all he can to give back to those who need it most.
In 1993, while subbing at Lato High School, he was asked to mentor football standout Albert Perry. The experience would prove to be life-changing.
So many of these kids are faced with these challenges of growing up in environments where they have this dream, but there's nobody living close by them who can help them achieve that dream. That's when I really became motivated. That's when that extra spark, like in the fourth quarter, when you're down by 7 points and somebody need to make a play, that's when that kicked in for me.
What came out of it was All Sports Community Service. It's an organization that helps students get involved in their community, mentors them through high school, and helps them take the necessary steps to get into college.
One of my ultimate goals was to show people that you can parlay the game from the playing field to the game of life.
Daily, Tyrone Keys helps others receive the same opportunity he was given. An SEC 75th Anniversary Story of Character.
And I just never forget, as a kid, watching all the Super Bowl games and watching Monday Night Football, and my mom said, it's time to go to bed, but I said, no, Mom, I want to play pro football one day. And I never would have ever thought that when my dad took me outside to kind of throw the ball around, that this ball would have taken me places. But I want to tell young students, the ball without education and without the proper mentoring is a disaster. So I encourage the young people that they have to develop character, because football by itself is a non-transferable skill. But you can take everything that you learn from the coaches and the teachers, you can take with you and you can apply it, and you can parlay the game from the playing field to the game of life, and then come back and help the next generation on their journey.
J.C. Watts had a leadership conference that was happening in Washington, D.C., and Coach Jenkins was running a satellite program of all sports community service at his high school. For a man that I met at the age of 14 to be sitting in first class with me and, still being a mentor to me, still being friends, and now we helping another generation of kids. Thank you, Coach.
I have always said that God can use anyone or anything for his purposes. In 1975, I believe he brought Coach Jenkins to Callaway and used the game of football to demonstrate to a group of high school kids that racial reconciliation is not just something you ought to strive for, it's really something that can bring lifelong joy and friendships. Back in 1970, the U.S. Department of Education and the Department of Justice declared segregated schools unconstitutional, and a massive busing plan was implemented across Mississippi. The effort did achieve a more racially integrated classroom at first, but the results did not create a more colorblind environment on either side in most places. Somehow, Callaway was different. There was an unusual mix of administrators, teachers, coaches, parents, and students whose character and values fostered an environment of respect and cooperation. Nowhere was that fact more visible than among the members of the football team. At Callaway High School in 1975, a diverse group of aspiring athletes bonded on the gridiron to lead their team to the first statewide championship of an integrated football team in Mississippi. No JPS team can boast such an accomplishment to this day. Over 40 years later, that band of brothers, black and white, continues deep friendships with each other. Skin color has never been an issue for them. When the team held a 40-year reunion in 2016, the members got together and rode an old JPS school bus together to the MS Sports Hall of Fame Museum and presented their 1975 state championship trophy to Bill Blackwell, the executive director. Coach Jenkins inspired that unity and continued community. He was instrumental in organizing the 50-year Hall of Fame and an invitation to the Mississippi State Hall of Fame to celebrate the 75 state championship team and the 50th anniversary team.
The 1975 Callaway Chargers were honored today at the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. They were the last integrated JPS team to win a state title. Hall of Famer Hill Denton was an assistant coach. Tyrone Keys played on the undefeated Charger squad 40 years ago. I asked the Super Bowl champ what it meant for this team to be remembered forever on Lakeland Drive.
Since I've been inducted since 2009, I always thought about that 75 Callaway team. Just thought about them and just thought about the 85 Bears and what a blessing it was for me to play on two outstanding legendary teams. 40 years later, for us to be going into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame with our trophy, what a wonderful day. And the great thing about it is in 1971, when we started busing, it was considered one of our darkest moments because we didn't know what to expect. And we go over to Callaway and we all united as one front, one heartbeat. And for us to come back today to get off of that school bus, that's history.
Callaway High School was the first school in the state of Mississippi was identified as a school of choice. Black and whites had opportunity to choose to go to school together. Callaway was the first school in the state of Mississippi. Players talked about how we came together, black and white. As Tyrone mentioned the number of players, we had an assortment about 50-50 black and white players. There's no other team in the Jackson, Mississippi that's won a state championship, but however, here's another point. There's no other team in the Jackson metro area that's gone undefeated and won a state championship, and this was Callaway in 1975. There was a proclamation that the state legislators presented to Callaway after the 75 championship team.
Coach Odell Jenkins, who was the only African-American coach on the staff of the Callaway Charger 1975 state championship team, was the glue that held it all together.
Tyrone has been a blessing to me. And all you guys have, Bobby, Dunn, Clump, Darrell Smith, and all you guys that I have talked to, and Slaughter, you mean so much to me now. Tell you something else, we've been blessed to have been around a bunch of good guys. It hasn't been on, in fact, when I spoke to the team first ball game this year, I told them they had a whole lot to uphold. It's not only just football. You're all not just football players. Look where you are now. Look what you're doing. We got doctors, lawyers, people who have done well, law enforcement. You have done well. You have represented Callaway well. And Skippy, Hill and I, been friends over the years, Coach Lee, all us. In fact, when I tell other people from other schools, and they said, not only y'all still good, y'all work together, it's amazing, y'all friends. Some people don't understand that. We still are good friends. You all are winners, but we appreciate you coming. It's just a good job to see it all come together.
Look, I would like to say this about Coach Jenkins and the rest of our coaches. Before I knew what a mentor was, these guys was our mentors. These guys have been doing it for years, and we thank you for what you have made out of us.
When I came to Callaway, there was a principal there named Mr. Smith. There was an assistant principal named Lamar Nesbitt. There was an assistant principal named Mr. Manning. That was the foundation for what you see here today. Besides that point, you could not find a better coaching staff in the United States than Charlie Allman, Skippy Beerbro, Hill Denson, Odell Jenkins, and Bill Lee. I'm telling you, they were the epitome of coaches. So again, you fellas that went all the way to that championship, remember the foundation was set.
A concurrent resolution commending the Jackson Callaway High School football Chargers for their outstanding undefeated 1975 football season. Whereas the Jackson Callaway High School football team won the championship of the Capital Zone of the Big Elite 8 Conference. And whereas the Jackson Callaway High School football team won the state championship of the North Mississippi Division of the Big 8 Conference. And whereas the Jackson Callaway High School football team won the overall championship of the Big 8 Conference. And whereas the Jackson Callaway High School squad is rated the #1 team in Mississippi by Associated Press and United Press International. And whereas this fine group of young athletes completed their season with an astounding record of 12 wins against no losses. The only team ever in the history of the Mississippi High School Activities Association to have this record. And whereas the Jackson Callaway High School football team scored a total of 328 points on offense, while allowing only 121 points to be scored against them on defense. And whereas 9 members of the Jackson Callaway squad were all Big 8 Conference selections, and whereas 11 members of the Jackson Callaway team were selected to the All-City team. And whereas the Jackson Callaway High School squad were ably coached and inspired by head coach Charles Allman, assistant coaches Hill Denson, W.J. Bilbro, and Odell Jenkins, has developed a winning and cooperative spirit and a high degree of sportsmanship. And whereas their activities and attitude reflect great credit upon the individual players and their coaches and bring honor to their school, and whereas it is the policy of this legislature to recognize and command excellence, especially when evidenced by the youth of our state who are its future. Therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the state of Mississippi, the Senate concurring therein, that we hereby commend and congratulate the Jackson Callaway High School football team and their coaches, Charles Allman, Hill Denson, W.J. Bilbro, and Odell Jenkins, for winning the Big 8 Conference and for displaying tireless devotion to their athletic endeavors.
This gold football that has my name on it, and it is to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Super Bowls. And I just never forget, as a kid, watching all the Super Bowl games and watching Monday Night Football, and my mom said, it's time to go to bed, but I said, no, Mom, I want to play pro football one day. And I never would have ever thought that when my dad took me outside to kind of throw the ball around, that this ball would have taken me places. But I want to tell young students, the ball without education and without the proper mentoring is a disaster. So I encourage the young people that they have to develop character, because football by itself is a non-transferable skill. But you can take everything that you learn from the coaches and the teachers, you can take with you and you can apply it, and you can parlay the game from the playing field to the game of life, and then come back and help the next generation on their journey.
Coach was a perfect example as a coach. He was tough, yet fair. He was passionate about the game, but yet compassionate about all people. He was a servant leader. As Bobby Bell, captain of the 74 Chargers defense, and one who made law enforcement his career, said, "Coach Jenkins was my mentor before I ever knew what a mentor was." Coach Odell Jenkins and the Callaway Chargers story deserves to be remembered. And it shines a positive and bright light on what can happen when people unite around a shared goal and commit themselves to excellence. It is a reminder of the truth of Philippians 2:4. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. On behalf of all of your players, thank you, Coach, for giving us your all.
Something else, we've been blessed to have been around a bunch of good guys. It hasn't been on. In fact, when I spoke to the team, first ball game this year, I told them they had a whole lot to uphold. It's not only just football. You're all not just football players. Look where you are now. Look what you're doing. We got doctors, lawyers, people who have done well. Law enforcement. You have done well. You have represented Callaway well.
To say, in all I do, I want to honor you. Let the words of my mouth be acceptable to you. May the songs that I sing be pleasing, Lord. I want
Hill and I been praying over the years, Coach Lee, all us. In fact, when I tell other people from other schools, and they said, not only y'all still good, y'all work together, it's amazing, y'all friends. Some people don't understand that. We still are good friends. You all are winners, but we appreciate you coming. It's just a good job to see it all come together.
Look, I would like to say this.
Principal there named Mr. Smith. That was assistant principal named Lamar Nesbitt. That was assistant principal named Mr. Manning. That was the foundation for what you see here today. Besides that point, you could not find a better coaching staff in the United States than Charlie Allman, Skippy Beerbro, Bill Denson, Odell Jenkins, and Bill Lee. I'm telling you, they were the epitome of coaches. So again, you fellas that went all the way to that championship, remember the
acceptable to
something else. We've been blessed to have been around a bunch of good guys. It hasn't been on. In fact, when I spoke to the team, first ball game this year, I told them they had a whole lot to uphold. It's not all just football. You're all not just football players. Look where you are now. Look what you're doing. We got doctors, lawyers, people who have done well. Law enforcement. You have done well. You have represented Callaway well.
Hold on tight and you will last. Keep your self-respect, your manly pride. Get yourself in gear. Keep your stride. Never mind your fears. Brighter days will soon be here. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Yeah.
And Skippy, Hill and I, been friends over the years, Coach Lee, all us. In fact, when I tell other people from other schools, and they said, not only y'all still good, y'all work together, it's amazing, y'all friends. Some people don't understand that. We still are good friends. You all are winners, but we appreciate you coming. It's just a good job to see it all come together.
Head up high. Lay your dreams right up to the sky.
That was a principal there named Mr. Smith. That was an assistant principal named Lamar Nesbitt. That was an assistant principal named Mr. Manning. That was the foundation for what you see here today. Besides that point, you could not find a better coaching staff in the United States than Charlie Allman, Skippy Beerbro, Hill Denson, Odell Jenkins, and Bill Lee. I'm telling you, they were the epitome of coaches. So again, you fellas that went all the way to that championship, remember the foundation was set.